Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Allan and
Maria show.
Maria show. Once a week, we like to get on and do a little video together. We're both coaches and we're both in the relationship realm. So we enjoy doing these little podcasts. We hope that you like them. And every week, we try to choose an interesting topic. And I think the topic we're going to talk about, Maria, today
Is what is the better timing than now to establish that emotional intimacy in relationships since we cannot see each other physically?
yeah, and I'll use another term if you don't mind. I'll use another term.
Sure, go ahead.
The importance of emotional intimacy preceding physical intimacy, the importance of emotional intimacy.
That is long.
It's not too
That's
long for me. I understand it. Your group will understand yours. My group will understand mine.
sounds good.
The point is, you and I have talked, and for me, with the launch of my Soulmate Revolution program, this is very meaningful to me because all these years, and I'm a man, so I understand physical attraction, and I've been guilty of, like every other man, just one night stands, etc. But over the years, I've really appreciated the importance of founding a physical relationship on trust and friendship and what I would call emotional intimacy. So wouldn't you agree, Maria, that emotional communication and emotional intimacy is truly an important foundation for a relationship?
I absolutely agree with that. And I think then older we grow, then more into self-development and working in ourselves we doing, then more we actually inclined to choose emotional intimacy over just one night stand. So maybe two nights stands.
Okay, so explain what you mean, and then I'll tell people what I think I mean by emotional intimacy. What do you mean when you hear the term emotional intimacy? What does that mean to you?
It means it's when two people are so intellectually and spiritually, if you may, and connected that they just enjoy spending time with each other without even being physical. They could talk about things, they could work on projects together, they can be passionate about the same things, and just fully feeling it's like somebody is just a best friend of yours whom you don't really sleep with. I know a lot of people do sleep right now with best friends, but it's not the case. So yeah, when you feel this emotional connection, um it's like you think alike. You don't have to speak sometimes in order to understand each other. When it's like you come to the room and you see by the look, by the face expression, what that person thinks or feels at the moment. That's what it's for me.
Okay, well, for me, it's a little different. I think that what you're talking about, which I agree 100% are very important qualities to have, that's more connection. That's more spirit connection. That's more soul connection, being on the same wavelength. I'm also talking about emotional intimacy, which is going through some of the tough times together. In other words, when two people have the willingness, the trust, the confidence in themselves, the courage to communicate some things that are not so fun. Like, I'm feeling upset right now. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling down. I'm feeling frustrated. I'm feeling love. I feel whatever. Expressing feelings are where most people have trouble. Sharing ideas is easy peasy. Having lifestyle goals is easy peasy, and it's important. I'm not downplaying it. But to have the willingness and the courage to go to the nitty gritty, emotional communication, emotional intimacy is where a lot of people are not ready to go. That's my feeling.
Yeah, I agree with that, and thanks for adding up to what I said. Right now it's that perfect timing. So it's those people who already just started dating or something. They just in just the beginning stages of relationships and going right now through what's going right now in the world. This is that timing when, okay, if we can get through that, we can get through a lot of more things much easier.
I agree with you. I'll give you an example, Maria. This morning, talking to a good friend of mine, try to keep it as practical as possible. And she likes this guy, but they're not really in a relationship, and she's not even sure he's out of an old relationship. And they're kind of flirting through texting and this and that, whatever. And she's spending a lot of time analyzing and psychoanalyzing whether he really likes her, whether there's a possibility or not. But when I ask her, did you communicate how you felt in the last conversation when he got off the phone? She often says, no, I was afraid to. So
Mm,
here, what happens, she gets on the phone and then she thinks a lot about it, feels a lot about it, gets her into a frenzy, and then she'll never know. But all she needs to do is say, by the way, I wanted to share something with you. Last night when we were doing such and such, and when we left the conversation, I was feeling a little unsettled by that and thought we should talk about it
mhm.
so we could clear it up. And then you clear the air. And when you clear the air, you're going to know so much more. That's emotional intimacy.
And both people need to be ready for that, because people are not able or afraid to communicate due to internal fears and beliefs, right? So like in this instance, your friend is assuming a lot. And because of those assumptions, she creates those stories in her head that probably don't match reality 100%. And that's what's going to bring that disappointment and stuff. But in
Totally.
order to really um, communicate that clear, you need to, we go back again to know who you really are, right? It's like, what do you like, what you don't? But even if you know who you are, it's not always easy to communicate.
Exactly.
Sure you agree with that, right?
Totally. Some people they would consider themselves very spiritual, but don't communicate openly. Why don't we give the audience an example, you, starting with you. Give us one example in your life where you had a pattern of not being authentic or not being real, and it caused some suffering in your life. Could you give us an example?
Yes, I actually can give this example. So I have been in so-called relationship at some point, and as things were going, I felt myself so different from how I normally am everywhere with everybody, that it started concerning me why I am changing without even thinking about it. Why am I certainly a different person? And I did not like myself, which is why eventually I ended that relationship, because I didn't love who I am in that relationship. I didn't even like who I was. And every time I would catch myself on certain things I'm saying, how I communicate, I was just like, who is this woman? So I had to eventually listen to myself and said, I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore. But yeah.
You got fed up and you realized it wasn't going to get you anywhere. I had a similar experience in that my pattern for the longest time was being attracted to women who were not emotionally available. And I learned at some point that I had my trouble was not with my mother, it was more with my father, who was kind of an angry man and I was afraid of him. So my pattern was to attract bitchy women, women who were kind of angry. So I was very attracted to them. If someone loved me, I thought, don't want that, not interested in
RBF.
that. I'm out of there. Why would they want to love a schmuck like me, right? So my
Mhm.
tendency was to seek after women who were not emotionally available, and inevitably, I was always hurt until I finally got, like you, fed up with the pattern, said never again, and started growing in myself. So is to attract quality relationships. So, what is one piece of advice that we could give the audience, dear Maria, on what it is they can do to turn that around, that pattern around today?
Um, First of all, like catching yourself on your patterns, like be aware the things you say, when are you saying them, or things you're doing, and when are you doing, like in which situation, because if it's a pattern, it will be repetitive in the same situations, right? So being aware, it's the key, and try to really change it. Try to really like being in tune with yourself and understand where is your ego talking that is fearful, and ego gets upset, mad, and ego assumes things, and where is your heart talking and saying like, is it really true? Is it what I feel? Is it what I want? So when you have these conversations between few of yous in the body, it really gets entertaining sometimes. Sometimes it can cause fight within yourself, because you like basically torn in
Yeah.
between different opinions, and just really changing those patterns, and it's including communication. So if you catching yourself being afraid to say something when you don't like, so try, and if it comes out with anger, at least just say, I'm sorry, it came out like I'm being an asshole. I apologize for that delivery, but I just wanted to say that. And eventually you'll learn how to say it based on how the other person receives it.
Sounds like excellent advice to me. My advice, a little bit different than that, would be if you notice that the person you appear to be interested in, there are one or two or three significant things that are not present in the relationship. Don't pretend they're not there. If it's a small thing, no, they have black hair rather than red hair, who cares? But if it's a deal breaker, what we call deal breakers, and there are two or three of them, they don't communicate very well. They're very untidy. They smoke all day, or whatever it be. There might be deal breakers. When you see those deal breakers, say, is this what I really, really want? Because I'm the bachelor, I'm the bachelorette, I deserve to have, not someone who's
Again,
perfect.
having that small talk with yourself, right?
Yeah, I deserve to have what I want, and what I want as certain values, certain issues are really important. And if they're not there, you should wonder why you're putzing around and wasting your time. That would be my suggestion. How do people get in touch with you, Maria?
That was a good one. Good suggestion. How people can get in touch with me. It's either my website. It's www.mariagarovacoaching.com. We're going to post it, right, everywhere. Facebook, my business page. I do have personal page. I'm active on both of them. And Instagram too. Now I'm becoming much more active on Instagram. And I have a YouTube channel too. Duh. Thanks to COVID-19, all that extra time can be used very for the good cause.
Wonderful. And if you want to get in touch with me, Allan Knight, my website's allanknight.com. My second website is the Soulmate Revolution. You can email me at allan@allanknight.com. And it was great chatting with you. Hope that we've helped you in some way. Maybe we gave you some food for thought. And we'll look forward to speaking to everyone next week.
I hope you like my new backdrop.
I like it. I like it. It's very simple. It's very zen-like.
All right, thank you. Well, it was short today, but straight to the point. Something that it's very important right now that people are reaching out to us, and that is, I mean, at least to me.
Be real. Be real. Be yourself.
Real, raw, and authentic.
Okay, my dear.
Bye.